reversible hat, we are using the 60 peg topper on our KB rotating double knit loom. The yarn we're using is Wool Ease. It's from Lion brand. In the color linen, it is a number 4 worsted weight yarn, 80% acrylic, 20% wool. Second color, again, it's Wool Ease, Lion brand, and it's in Stillwater is the color for this. And it again is a number 4 worsted weight yarn, 80% acrylic, 20% wool. We are going to do our cast on in linen. So I'll put that one over there. Find your center pull. I only had a little bit of yarn that pulled out with mine. Create a slip knot. If it wasn't for the fact that I am only doing this for the first 2 rows, I would be using a yarn guide right here. But for our cast on, we are going to do a stockinette cast on. I'll zoom this in case you're not familiar. A stockinette cast on. Have this string down here. Here's the other arrow, so you wrap the pegs just back and forth like this. Before we do our second round, you'll need a piece of scrap yarn and a contrasting collar. And you're just going to place it over top the stitches already there. And then use your loom tool. I twist mine together. That seems to help. But use the loom tool to pull those down below. And then I will take and knot it. It's like a slip knot, so I can easily take that out. Wrap your second round. You are back at peg 1. And as you'll notice, I will hold it like this as I wrap in case a stitch would fall off and would go back. It would only go back to that peg and then I could fix it. Every peg should have 2 stitches on it. Hold your working yarn, and I take and go ahead and knit over that peg first. I don't have to hold on to it any longer. So all the way around the loom, on the outside and inside loom, knitting over every single peg. It's time to add in our secondary color, which is the Stillwater. It's I would call it more of a sage green. How I'm going to add this is I'm actually just going to wrap the yarn around the working yarn. So I got a few inches there. Hold these two together. See, the inside of the hat is going to be the beige color, let me see, what was it called? Linen. And the outside is going to be the Stillwater. So you just kind of move this back and forth to where it meets in the middle. The green is in the middle. And you want to wrap the yarn 2 times. Pull that so that the green is in the middle. To keep it from tangling, wrap it in one direction and then wrap it in the opposite. That'll keep it untangling as you work. Here I am at that tail. Just gonna move it out of the way somehow. It doesn't matter which way. Go ahead and knit over your last stitches on both sides just to hold them in place. And you knit over every stitch on the outside and the inside of the loom. Cast on and round 1 are done. If you notice that it doesn't look like the green is right in the middle, you can kind of push them around a little bit just to adjust them some if you feel that you need to. Round 2 and the rest of the hat is the exact same as round 1, but I will go ahead and show you again. So we are going to take and, wait, where am I at? Yep, wrap it twice. And making sure that green is in the middle, and I'll wrap the second one twice in the opposite direction. So you can adjust it. We have made it as long as we're going to. If you don't want to have to stretch this down and measure it, to eyeball it, I just fold it up until it's here and it hits back up here. That makes it a very nice length that will fit pretty much any head, and you can flip the brim up. We need to decrease the top. So what we're going to do is we will take every other peg on the loom and move the stitch over one and then knit off like that. So over one, knit off. Do the same on the inside, moving the same stitches over. It really doesn't matter where you start. every other peg on the inside and outside loom are empty, we are going to work one round only with the pegs that have yarn on them. Now we wrap the working yarn around the loom 2.5 times, and then cut it. We want the green collar on the outside and your beige collar on the inside. What I'm going to do is I'll be doing a flat top bind off, but I will be doing one on the inner loom and then a second on the outer loom. What that means, you got your working yarn that you wrapped 2.5 times around the loom and cut. You will be taking and pulling that strand through. I'll take that behind. Every other stitch that you have worked on this outer loom. And you can even pop those off as you go if you would like. Just don't put too much tension or anything on it yet. We are back at the beginning. Get that first one. Now onto the inside loom. Don't tighten up this outside one until we are done, but we are doing the exact same thing. Here it is off the loom, and it measured 12 inches long. Now to close up our top here, and you're going to notice like 4 strands. We're going to start with one. I'm starting with whatever the inside is, which it happens to be the white. And you're going to notice the way this pulls. You'll see one of the rounds, your last round you did, will pull tight first, and then that inner one will.
And with this outside one here, it's going to look really crazy until you are completely done. But see what I'm doing? I'm kind of turning this around and tightening it up as I go. But you do need to be very careful. You do not want to break that cord as you are tightening it. And once you have it as tight as you need, or when you're about done, I take a crochet hook and pull that string to the inside. We can tighten it up a little more if we need to, but we're going to go ahead and do this outside. I'm putting my finger in the middle here because you'll notice it will tighten up around my finger, and you can see there's one round and then there's the second. Doing this type of a bind off is more difficult with a yarn containing a natural animal fiber because the hairs like to stick to each other. Let's see. I know about how much I can pull on this yarn, so I'm still being very careful. Alright, so that outside, now let's look at how this inside tightened up. Again, I'm going to kind of go in a circle here. Alright, that's as tight as that's going to get. I want to cut those. They just need to be a few inches long. Get them out of the way. You want the cast on edge to look nice and smooth and finished. We start at the opposite end of the cast on string, and you can even undo that slip knot if you would like. We are grabbing the first 2 loops above your strand there, or pull that first through. Then we will grab the next, pull it through. Zoom this in so you can see it a little better. You will continue like this all the way around. We are at this end. We have 2 more stitches. You can see those are put together by a knot. You can work them individually if you would like. I'll go ahead and pick this one up. But I personally do not like knots. You do not have to do this. I know undoing a knot makes some people a little nervous. But as you can see, I'm holding the strand with my loom tool until I'm just kind of, there we go, see, I figured out. And then I still have, I accidentally split the yarn. See how there's just like 2 little pieces right here? I accidentally split the yarn. So I want to pull, this is the fun part, guys. I want to pull the rest of that through. I got it. There we go. Yay! So now you can see it is 2 separate stitches here. I'll take that first one, and then I'll take that second one. Now, take my elephant nose, cut that. Still gonna join those, but leave this here. I want to zoom this out and show you what I call the magic trick. See, I'm stretching this. You can already see the strand moving back. You just cut your placeholder strand and pull it until it's completely out. And now we want to connect through these 2 stitches right here, which you can use your loom tool if you have trouble pulling through a stitch. But I'm going to pull those through, and then this is that initial cast on strand. I'm going to pull through both of those. That locks that in. Now I will go through and weave this in. Well, I'll kind of show you now. When weaving the ends in, you see the fabric, this is double knit. So it's not that it just has a front and a back. It has a middle as well. So you want to make sure you're not pulling the yarn through both sides. You just want to pull it through one side, which I'm going to pull this through here just to make that smooth. See? I have got 2 white ones here. I'm going to pull them through. I'm just going to weave it up through this one strand so that when it's stretched, it's not going over that. There are many, many ways to weave in your ends. You do whatever you're most comfortable with. Weave it up a bit, cut it, you stretch it until that blends back in. Let's flip this inside out. So here we go. Our hat is done. If you look at it, you can kind of see my tension is a little off in some spots. It's kind of hard to tell. It's just from starting and stopping. You can see kind of a spot through here. You wash it, all of those, hand wash, all of this will even out. Lots of times just putting it on their head and doing this, kind of stretching it out, will help with any uneven stitches. Now I said I don't like knots. If you are concerned at all about this coming out, I do suggest kind of weaving this through and putting a knot up here. But just like this part, try to stay in the white so you don't end up having it come through on this outside. And you can see how this last stitch here is kind of loose. When I tie that in, see that how those two are a little more loose than the rest. First of all, I'm going to make sure it's as tight as I can get it. But then when I weave that end in, I'm going to weave it in that direction so those aren't bubbled up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave questions and comments in the comment section below. All the video links and product links that you can think of are in the video description below. And this is a reversible hat. Honestly, I don't know which side I like best. Guys, what do you like best? The green on the inside with the beige on the outside, or the opposite? Ooh, I think I like this way better. I'm excited. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy your day. Keep looming, guys.